goddamn grocery store with the goddamn shit folded over and he doing a back bend like he in the goddamn gymnastics already. I don't like none of them. Kylie's first baby daddy, a husband, none of them raggedy. They couldn't even lift up more weights than me. I don't know why my kids out here running around with these goddamn weirdo no. Then I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. If I dated somebody that was not arrested, I could afford to do it. You know why? Because I could get out here and make that motherfucker something. No, y'all over here just letting them walk around in Walmart. Who the f*** is walking around Walmart? You send somebody to Walmart. You don't walk around Walmart.
Because I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in there and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? I'm like, no. You just go ahead and put it out there when I was wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia. You know me, I said didn't kick in. They said what I do was C-section. Guess what? You refused. You didn't want to mess up your little tattoo. Or you didn't want to get cut, right? Don't worry. Where your mama instincts was at then? Because you sent through that infected canal, right? You did. You did that. So, don't do that. When I encourage you, I keep asking you, leave me alone. You want to play with my children now, right? You play with my children. Tell them I'm my grandlady, like... And you know what's crazy? We will never talk about Chrisean because he's special and we really love him. But yo, you are foul. You are foul and disgusting.
I didn't get it with the baby and stuff.
Why are you lying?
Really been flued out in real life though. Ladies, one more time.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You got no liquor? Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
Nah,
He shut the door
you
because
can't
it's
have
cold.
no fucking
Tessa.
liquor.
When they were here last time, him and Chrisean was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
Tell me one time, lad.
Yeah.
This is when the owner of Zeus was trying to like patch up whatever, and you know this was like, yo, y'all keep going back and forth online, like talk. FaceTime her, she's like smoking a joint. She's full on pregnant.
While she's pregnant.
Full on pregnant. Smoking a joint.
Like,
and I said, aren't you? And she's like, shh. And I'm like, ain't no shh. I'm like, the baby's in the stomach. Like,
yeah.
no giving. You know what I mean? Now, again.
Junior was in a diaper with nothing on in Maryland. So you know it's cold out here in Maryland, for one. For two, do you know that if somebody would have hit that car at a high speed, Junior could have flew through that windshield? Junior was not in any seatbelt. Junior was not in any car seat. And on top of that, Junior was naked.
Baby, the way this drama keeps escalating, at this point, it's not even a story anymore. It's a full-blown saga. Because Blueface mom, Carissa Saffold, has decided she is done whispering and is now airing out accusations so wild, so explosive, you'd think she was trying to solve a true crime case instead of commenting on her own grandson. First, she dragged Chrisean Rock for drinking while pregnant. Then she hinted at neurological issues, helmets, car seats, basically saying the whole world can see something is off. But now she's flat out alleging that Chrisean put her hands on the baby's face because it wasn't the face she planned on. And that's where the question becomes unavoidable. Is Carissa exposing serious truths? Or is she just adding gasoline to a fire she helped spark? Because whether she's right, wrong, or reaching, one thing is clear. She's telling the internet everything, including things that maybe shouldn't be said about a child at all. And the deeper you go into what she's claiming, the messier this story gets. Carissa Saffold has officially entered a new era, and it's not quiet, subtle, or grandmotherly in the slightest. It's loud, it's pointed, and it's looking a lot like a mission. Because out of everything she's ever said about Chrisean Rock, all the jabs, all the warnings, all the late-night rants, nothing compares to the accusation she just dropped. This time, Carissa is claiming that Chrisean didn't just mishandle the baby or act reckless around him. She's alleging that Chrisean put her hands on the child's face because it wasn't the face she planned on having. And when a mother-in-law says something like that publicly, with her whole chest, you know she's not just talking. She's aiming to blow everything wide open. The way Carissa delivered it made it feel less like a comment and more like evidence in a case she's been quietly building. She didn't imply it. She didn't hint. She straight up said Chrisean smashed the baby's face and now hides him because she's ashamed of how he looks. And the internet didn't even have time to blink before it erupted. People were either gasping, denying, defending, or grabbing their popcorn. Because at this point, anytime Carissa opens her mouth about Chrisean, it becomes a public event. And this time she didn't just cross a line, she pole vaulted over it. And here's where things get complicated. On one hand, Carissa sounds absolutely convinced that something horrible happened. She's talking like a woman who believes she has receipts the rest of us haven't seen yet. On the other hand, she has a history, a long one, of taking every opportunity to drag Chrisean in front of an audience. When someone constantly finds a new problem, a new flaw, a new reason to call someone unfit, you can't help but wonder if this is protection or obsession. So the question becomes, is Carissa dropping hard truths that nobody else wants to admit? Or is she spiraling into a level of chaos that risks hurting her own grandson just to hurt the mother? Because no matter which side you fall on, one thing is undeniable. Carissa isn't speaking like a woman who plans on backing down. She's speaking like someone who wants the internet to sit up, pay attention, and pick a side. Meanwhile, Chrisean is suddenly under more fire than ever, with her silence only adding fuel to the rumor mill. And in a story already drowning in drama, police calls, baby injuries, and public meltdowns, this accusation might be the one that pushes the entire situation into a new category. So before we go any deeper, we have to ask the only question that matters right now. Is Carissa exposing a dangerous truth, or is this just chaos disguised as concern? To understand why Carissa's latest claims hit so hard, you have to look at the history, because this feud didn't start yesterday. Carissa has been coming for Chrisean since the pregnancy test dried. From the moment Chrisean announced she was expecting, Carissa made herself the unofficial spokesperson of concern, but it never sounded like worry. It always sounded like warning. She criticized every move, the drinking, the smoking, the nights out, the partying on live streams. She wasn't subtle. She wasn't hinting. She was narrating her disapproval like she was hosting a documentary called What Not to Do While Pregnant. And it didn't stop after the baby arrived. If anything, the commentary got louder. She talked about neurological issues she could see, mentioned something about helmets and car seats, and shaded the way Chrisean held the baby, fed the baby, introduced the baby to the world. You name it, she critiqued it. If Chrisean posted a picture, Carissa posted a paragraph. If Chrisean breathed near the baby, Carissa found something wrong with the angle of the air. It got to the point where the internet realized something. Carissa has always had something to say. This isn't a new obsession. It's a long-running series with too many episodes, and every time you think the season finale aired, she drops another cliffhanger. But nothing compares to what she said now. In her latest post, Carissa claimed, and I quote, that Chrisean smashed the baby's face and hides him because she didn't get the face she planned on having. She didn't cushion it. She didn't phrase it as a question. She stated it like it was already proven, signed, and notarized. And the tone? Dead serious. No emojis, no jokes, no maybe. Just a grandmother delivering an allegation that shook social media by the shoulders. This is the kind of accusation that normally happens behind closed doors, in family meetings, or, if things are truly bad, in police reports. But Carissa didn't go to family, didn't go to professionals. She went to the internet, like she always does. And that's what makes the whole thing even more intense. Because how often do you see a grandmother publicly accuse the mother of her grandchild of intentionally harming his face? It's not normal behavior. It's not casual. This is serious. Or at least Carissa wants it to feel serious. And the moment she posted it, the stakes changed. This was no longer a petty back and forth. This was an accusation that, if true, is horrifying, and if false, is unforgivable. Then, as if the situation needed more gasoline, a follower slid into the comments asking the question that's been floating around for months. If all this is true, why wasn't Chrisean tested for substances when she gave birth? And instead of brushing it off, Carissa jumped on it immediately. She told the follower that Chrisean didn't deliver at a regular hospital. And suddenly, the room got quiet, because that opened the door to a whole new line of speculation. Carissa made it sound like the environment wasn't standard, like something about the delivery wasn't monitored the way people expect. And that's when Chrisean, one of the people who claims to have been around during the birth, stepped in with her own version of events. She suggested the birth location didn't follow traditional hospital procedures and that certain tests weren't done because of it. The internet ate that up instantly. Whether it's true or not didn't matter. The idea was enough to send everyone spiraling. The real question wasn't about Chrisean's medical history. It was about oversight. Who was watching? Who wasn't? And how did so many details slip through the cracks? And just when you think the story couldn't get more chaotic, Chrisean added more fuel. She claimed that during the birth, doctors told Chrisean she had an infection. She claimed that Chrisean refused a C-section, then changed her mind, then refused it again. She claimed there were complications, arguments, confusion, basically painting the entire birth as a chaotic scene with nobody on the same page. Now, whether any of that is accurate is impossible to know, and none of it is medical advice. It's just what Chrisean said. What matters is that these stories don't match what Chrisean told the public. So now you have Carissa saying one thing, Chrisean saying another, and Chrisean saying something completely different. And the baby is in the middle of this storm, with everyone around him using the birth story like ammunition. None of these people can agree on what happened, but they all agree on one thing. Whatever went down in that delivery room wasn't peaceful. And that's the part that keeps the audience hooked. The feeling that something about this entire story just feels off. When Carissa says it wasn't a regular hospital, when Chrisean claims things were missed, and when Blueface says he wasn't even there, it creates this narrative tension that won't go away. It makes people wonder, if the birth wasn't handled the usual way, is that why everything after feels so confusing? This is exactly why the internet keeps spiraling back into this drama. Every explanation leads to more questions. Every claim contradicts another claim. And every time Carissa opens her mouth, she adds another missing puzzle piece that somehow doesn't fit the rest of the puzzle. And then there's Blueface, the man who started half of this drama without even trying. Because before the baby was born, he was already accusing Chrisean of smoking while pregnant, drinking while pregnant, and living like she wasn't expecting at all. He's the one who went public saying he told doctors to test the baby. He's the one who publicly pleaded with her to slow down. Whether he was trying to expose her or embarrass her is up for debate, but he put all those allegations into the public record. And people haven't forgotten the viral moments. The live stream where she was drinking, the club appearances, the fights, the Walmart incidents where she was sprinting around the store with her belly out like nothing mattered. These are the things the internet points to when they believe Carissa. These are the receipts that fuel every new accusation. But again, nobody on the outside knows the truth. All we know is what these people broadcast, and the story they've created, intentionally or not, has become one of the most chaotic pregnancy to parenthood saga social media has ever seen. And then we have the part of the story the internet just lives for, the diagnosis frenzy. Because the moment Baby Jr. appeared online, even for a second, social media turned into WebMD with no credentials. People were zooming in on screenshots, analyzing every blink, every cry, every angle of his face like they were pediatric specialists. They were identifying symptoms, creating threads, dropping terms they couldn't even spell 2 months ago. It wasn't about facts, it was about vibes. And online, vibes become theories, theories become narratives, and narratives suddenly turn into everyone knows. That's how the internet works. People weren't in the doctor's office. People weren't at the birth. People don't have the medical charts. But because the clips looked unusual to them, they started diagnosing based on TikTok edits and blurry photos. And of course, Carissa took all that speculation and folded it into her own storyline, acting like the comment section was a panel of experts confirming her concerns. But the truth is, social media loves to diagnose. And social media is wrong just as often as it's loud. Still, the viral moments didn't help anything. The internet remembers everything, especially the clips that don't look good. The Walmart video, that was a whole circus by itself. Chrisean pushing the stroller with one hand, walking her dog inside the store with the other, and the baby's body folded in ways that made everyone pause. People reposted it, slowed it down, dissected it frame by frame. And right on cue, Carissa jumped in with the dramatics, shouting online about how her grandchild looked like he was doing backflips in the aisle, and how real mothers wouldn't be in Walmart like that. She delivered her commentary like a monologue, full of outrage, judgment, and unnecessary ad-libs. Then the restaurant clip dropped, the one where the baby barely blinked while she filmed him. That video sent the internet into another spiral, and Carissa used it as Exhibit B. Suddenly she was talking about something definitely being wrong, and how she was prepared to wear a matching helmet if the baby needed one. She wasn't calming the situation, she was amplifying it. And then came the hotel incident, the one that had everyone clutching their phones. Chrisean live-streamed in a room full of bottles, noise, chaos, and two babies crawling around in the background. People were already panicking when one angle showed nitrous tanks. That clip spread across every platform like wildfire. Overnight, this wasn't just messy. It was officially viral concern content, and Carissa positioned herself as the woman who'd been warning everyone from day one. And that's where things crossed a line from gossip to genuine alarm. Because the hotel live stream didn't just go viral. It got authorities involved. Police and CPS reportedly stormed the room after viewers sent in calls, and suddenly this wasn't just online drama. It was an incident. This moment shifted the narrative from people are worried to people are involved, and Carissa used it like fuel. She blasted Chrisean again, now with more intensity, claiming that all she ever wanted was for her grandson to simply have a bedroom, a safe space, a stable environment. And because the hotel moment fit her storyline too perfectly, she ran with it like it was proof she'd been right all along. That's when people realized Carissa wasn't calming down anytime soon. She was ramping up, applying more pressure, talking louder, posting longer, and making sure the world knew she wasn't backing off. And as if the story needed more people involved, the exes and outsiders started joining in with their own insider accounts. Bino, the ex-boyfriend, went live talking about how the environment with Chrisean was messing with his mental health, how he felt she wasn't stepping up as a mother, and how Junior needed therapy and structure she wasn't providing. He wasn't trying to drag her, but he didn't protect her either. Then there was Ronnie, the man who claimed he was the real father before he passed away. He made his own accusations, saying the baby rode in a car without a seatbelt, half-dressed, vulnerable, and unsafe. His claims weren't about drama. They were about concern, but they added more confusion to an already chaotic narrative. All these outside voices didn't align. They didn't match each other. They didn't match Carissa. They didn't match Chrisean. But each one added another layer, another question, another can of worms. And that's what makes the whole story so tangled. Nobody is telling the same version of events, yet everyone is sure they're right. And now we're here, staring at the heart of the situation. The question everyone keeps circling back to, what is Carissa actually doing? Is she genuinely trying to protect her grandson, stepping in because she feels no one else will? Or is she exploiting a vulnerable situation, turning the baby's struggles, real or rumored, into social media content? Is she blowing the whistle on unsafe behavior? Or is she crossing boundaries no grandmother should ever cross? Because when you love a child, you protect them. You uplift them. You keep their struggles private. You don't narrate their entire life to millions of strangers. So is Carissa the family's alarm system or the family's chaos engine? At this point, one thing is clear. The baby is in the center of a storm created by adults who can't seem to put him first. And Carissa, loudest of them all, is either sounding the alarm or pouring gasoline. So now I have to ask you, is Carissa saving this child or sabotaging him? Drop your thoughts, theories, and hot takes in the comments, because this story is far from over and the internet is nowhere near done talking.